Welcome to Cold Corner. I'm Ashron.
And I'm Inferna.
And this evening we got a movie to review.
Yep, we have the Blu-ray of The Mummy, original one with Boris Karloff.
Yeah, and this is the glow-in-the-dark version. Got the cool art. It was kind of a limited thing.
Yeah.
With the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And this is, like I said, the 1932 version, which, amazingly enough, was before my dad was born.
Okay.
And my dad was into all the old monster movies. Anyway, it was directed by, I believe it's pronounced Karl Freund? I'm not quite 100% sure how it's pronounced. It's spelled F-R-E-U-N-D. So my pronunciation could be totally off, but
oh well.
yeah, and
let us know.
he also happened to be the cinematographer on the original Dracula.
Yeah.
And this stars Boris Karloff as Imhotep.
Legendary Boris Karloff.
Yes, as Imhotep / the Mummy. Zita Johann as Ankh-Sunamun. David Manners. Edward von Sloan as the main antagonist, Dr. Mueller. And Arthur Byron.
He's also the antagonist with Bela Lugosi in Dracula.
Yeah.
He plays Van Helsing in that role. Yeah.
And they also have briefly the guy who played Renfield too.
Yeah, Renfield's in here, and he's kind of maniacal too.
Yeah, he is. He still has that crazy laugh and stuff. And anyway, this is set back in the time when they were doing a lot of digs in Egypt, and it was actually based somewhat on these, real life digs in Egypt, because England and other places were doing a whole heck of a lot of digs out there at one time.
Excavating a lot,
And I mean,
new pyramids, little kind of ritualistic places, and kind of burials throughout the desert.
It was sort of inspired by all that. But anyway, so these people do this dig, and they find this tomb, for lack of a better term, even though it wasn't like a real tomb. It wasn't, you find out why, but it was like just sort of, they found this grave, basically, with a sarcophagus and a box. And the box said, don't open the box. So they immediately opened the box.
Probably shouldn't have done that.
And then there was a box inside the box that said, don't, get into this scroll. And so the one guy decides to look at the scroll.
Yeah.
And that happens to be the Renfield guy. And that awakens the mummy.
It's like when you, if you have matches and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just
don't play with matches, and so, But, anyway, so the mummy doesn't hurt him or anything. He just sort of drives him crazy. He just sort of
walks out the door.
Yeah, he's like, I got better things to do.
Yeah, I gotta go find my woman.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the whole premise of the whole thing, is he had died
in a very brutal way.
Yeah, brutally, because he was trying to raise his dead love's body and spirit back. He was trying to raise her from the dead, which was forbidden. And so he got punished for that by being buried alive, basically. But he had grabbed the scroll of life that is what he was using to try to raise her. He had grabbed that and had it kind of with him when he was buried, so that or they buried it with him or something. And it got buried with him, and so that was how he was able to rise again when they opened up the little box. But anyway, so now
you never know what you're going to get in a box, people.
Yeah.
There's a word of warning there.
So now we just go, into the regular Egypt, little town of Cairo area. And this guy goes knocking on the doctor's door. The doctor's like, hotel or whatever. And it's Imhotep, but he doesn't look quite as bad as he did when he was a mummy. He's rehydrated a little bit. He's still a bit crinkly and crusty looking.
Yeah, and he goes under another name.
Yeah, and he's going under another name. He's sort of incognito.
Yeah. You know it's him. It's just,
yeah. Yeah. He's a bit crustier than usual, a little bit drier than usual, but he's not quite as bad as when he first woke up. And there's this lady who he feels it and sees it. She's the reincarnation of his lost love, Ankh-Sunamun. And so he does stuff to try to bring her to him and, to bring them back together. And, people, the doctor subsequently, finds her grave and digs that up. And, some of her stuff is put in the museum. And It's basically, it's kind of a love story actually, because you know he's just always been trying to get back with her.
It's kind of tragic in a way. But yeah, it's a really good film, classic film. The makeup effects on the movie is really good.
And this being the Blu-ray version, they have cleaned it up quite a lot.
I do kind of like the grainy version, you know, like from the VHS to DVD. I mean, I do miss that. It gives, I don't know, the movie more of an old feel, you know. But this is a really beautiful release. It looks really nice, so you guys will like it. Fans of the movie, you're going to enjoy this release. So yeah, this is great. What did you like about it?
Well, I've always liked the story. Like I said, a lot of the old monster stories have, like, a significance to me just because it makes me think of my dad. And, you know, I mean, I started watching the old monster classics with my dad when I was really little because he always loved them.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, some of the first horror films were the Universal monsters. You know, I mean, Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein, Wolfman, you know, Invisible Man.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that was part of his childhood, so he made it part of my childhood, you know, ever since I was really little, so.
What did you dislike about the movie? If anything.
There's nothing really I dislike about it.
Yeah, it'd be nitpicking if you did, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, you'd be really, really nitpicking, because, I mean, the old monster movies, to me, are almost perfection.
Yeah, you can't get much better than that.
I mean, in a sense, I suppose you could make it a little scarier or a little more dangerous, but that would still mess it up. So, I mean, you don't need to do it. It doesn't need to be. But, I mean, if anything, that's about the only thing I could think of that you could really do. But, you know, it doesn't need it, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, how many stars are you going to rate this?
I am going to give it a 9.
9. I'm going to give it a 10.
You're going to give it a 10?
Yeah. So, definitely go pick this up. It's a good release. Got a lot of good features that they kind of brought over from the DVD to the Blu-ray. And, yeah, I mean, iconic Boris Karloff role, The Mummy. Nothing is better than this. So, yeah, go check it out and enjoy one of the best films ever made.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next time. Hail to horror.
Hail horror.